Well,
I have to really make the.
yeah.
Oh, got it. I got it. Fantastic. I keep forgetting that there is one thing that I have to do all the time. So anyway, what I was saying is that we are learning that in every single movement, as we move in a space through the planes of a space, that they are the fountain, that every single plane engages constantly the vertebrae in a specific vertebra. Even though we're moving through the 7 centers, the 7 centers are the clue to provide the motion of the vertebra, like a wave in the vertebra.
Right.
And the reason that the centers are a blessing, because if we try to do it through the spine, we will always be pushing back, because the mind are trying to hold that which is aware of.
Right.
So in order for us to really not to hold the spine, we go through the 7 centers. And you're learning now also that the planes that we move in a space, remember when we did the offering self and offering expansion and offering heaven, we getting to understand that all those movements are actually coming from the wave of the spine, going all the way from the pelvic floor to the crown, and vice versa from the crown to the pelvic floor. So what you're taking away is the movement of your arms being a stationary point of reference to move, or using the vertebrae compressionally in order to create a movement. So you are unifying the movement of the vertebrae with the planes and the motion of your arms, and therefore eventually with the legs, because when we do it on the floor, more about that. But that's what you're learning about. Every single movement is a coordination of the planes that you're moving in a space in your arms with the moving vertebrae of the spine, always ascending from the pelvic floor to crown, from the crown to the pelvic floor. Yes, so that's the reason that it's, yeah. Somebody saying hello. Yeah, when saying hello to us. Oh, the great Jeffrey, how are you? Jeffrey, you have a perfect background. You know, yeah, I can see the San Francisco Bridge.
It's beautiful. Bridge, yeah.
Oh, how lovely. It is. It is a poster that you are behind, or it's just what it is? I don't know.
They have these digital backgrounds, so you can.
Oh, how lovely.
I love it.
I love the idea. No, my God, you are a bridge of the heart. Fantastic. So somebody is coming. What?
Mary Pat.
Mary Pat. Okay. So we are.
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
Yes. Here she is. There she is.
Yeah, Mary Pat. How are you, darling?
Mary Pat.
That's fantastic. Beautiful. So then we are good. Shall we start? Shall we just start? Let me see. Shall we start recording again, darling, or not?
Do you want me to stop it and start?
I don't know because.
Okay, let me stop. I'll stop it.
Okay. So that we're it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I'll just repeat briefly what you were saying before, that all that you're learning right now as a refinement of your practice is that the planes in which your arms are moving in a space constantly are moving or synchronizing with the vertebrae of the spine, like a wave going from the pelvic floor to the crown, and from the crown descending to foundation. So the idea is that once we become more and more acquainted with that happening in all of the movements, everything becomes very simple. Because otherwise what happens is that we're using the arms and we may creating pressure upon the shoulders to create the movement, or we may innocently be creating compression upon the vertebrae to express the movement. And what we're doing is contrary, is we are engaging the vertebrae according to the planes of space. Yeah, like if we go into central crown, for example, or heaven, or any of the upper planes, that involved all the motions of the spine going all the way up through you. So the arms are not just going up and your spine stays stationary. On the contrary, the angle in which your arms are moving is what manifests the opening of the vertebrae. Yes, and in the beginning, we use the 7 centers to be able to become clear through the 7 centers what that expansion is, the planes of space through the 7 centers. Because if we're trying to really use the spine to do it in the beginning, the consciousness or awareness is going to hold the spine in order to do what we think that we would like you to do. And when you do that, then you're automatically getting compression, and therefore you're bypassing the actual reality that what you're really doing is engaging the vertebrae of your spine with the motions of your arms in order then to be able to be constantly connecting from the center of space and from the whole fabric that is the whole body. Yeah. And then eventually what it is once everything comes together, if you're looking up, it already implies that your vertebrae are continuously going up. You know what I mean? Whatever plane you're looking, the 3 different planes, the plane of foundation in the center of the pelvis, the plane of the expansion, and the plane of the upper planes, the heaven, infinity, and central crown. Those planes are very important because once the mind begins to comprehend that what it looks is the engagement of itself, then you have it forever, because you are not going to look up only looking up with your neck and head. You are going to looking up with all aspects of yourself. So therefore your seeing is synchronized with the whole of you. So it's not just based in a stationary point of looking to. Yeah. So this is an important thing that we did it. Yeah, it's wonderful. Any questions about anything that from the last week and anything before we start? You're doing everything is fantastic. Yeah. Lois, thank you for sending that commentary about Romeo Bruni. It was lovely, no? It was very scary. I will be terrified. Can you imagine going down the hill like that? Oh my God. Yeah. But you can see
he's a fun guy.
You can see that he goes into personality, right?
Yeah.
I love it because when he talk about expansion, expanding the universe, it is kind of funny because he thinks the expansion is just like, pushing it up, but it doesn't matter. I wouldn't tell him, but expansion is really actually the whole of you just are releasing out more than just thinking that you have to create expansion by pressure. But anyway, it's lovely. It's part of his personality. I'm going to write an email to him next week. Yeah, I'm going to explain the whole thing about unity and motion because I would like to really, just share with him. Why not? So anyway, no questions then? Everything is divine? Yeah. Fantastic. Wonderful. So anything specific that you would like to work today, or should I just decide? No? Nothing. Decide.
It's all good.
It's all good. Yeah, that's what it is. All good. So I think that, so let me tell you a little bit what we're going to do. So let's do the fountain of life again, just connecting to the fountain of life. This time when you're connecting to the fountain of life, the most difficult point within the fountain of life, there is such a thing, is that the connection of God's heart is a moving connection. So you can never be completely sure, because if you're trying to stop in God's heart, you are not going to be able to get to the diamond, because if you're trying to get to the diamond from stopping the connection, you will be going around the spine to go to central crown. You will not be able to stay in the center of the whole movements of the vertebrae. Yes, so that's the reason that it's complex, moving hard, because it is the point of engagement to going to central crown, and it is important because you cannot stop in it. And sometimes you can stop just by figuring out what that is, but know that that it will become biomechanical in that place. So it will be almost impossible to go from that biomechanical connection into central crown. But then if you just move through it, then it's going to be very fluid because your vertebrae will move with it. Yeah. Especially, let me get something that I'm going to show you something before it's important.
Did he say and moving heart?
What, Danny?
No, it didn't, I don't think he's.
Did he say not only God's heart, but moving heart?
No, gut heart. Moving heart is when it goes from
Yeah, I know.
expansion. Yeah, from expansion.
Oh,
Thank you.
You need that? Okay, so this is it's difficult to see, but this is the right and the left, the two sides of your face.
Yeah.
And this is the sagittal or coronal plane. You see right here, the sagittal or coronal plane of your neck, which is divided into the front and the back, right? Right and left, and then front and back is the sagittal plane. This place, I was going to put a piece of tape so you could see it. So moving from God's heart, going to the diamond, engage the sagittal or coronal plane in your neck. So automatically, by finding the plane and space, the neck elongate inside of the cervical vertebra, and avoid the idea that you're going to push with your head back, thinking that you elongate the neck, when in reality, you are not at the center of the vertebra, you're just going back. So that's the reason, exactly, that's the reason it's so important, moving hard to go into the suspended diamond, because it's the only way that you can really engage in the sagittal plane or coronal plane within your neck. Yeah, it's wonderful. And then when you go from expansion to heaven, once you become clear with the neck, when you go from expansion to encircling heaven, then you can begin to utilize the vertebrae to take you up into heaven in your neck, without again thinking that you're going to arch the spine, thinking that you're going to create an outer arc through the arching of the spine, base and compression, instead of basing in the full extension of all the vertebrae. Yeah, so that's important, the difference
and
between.
the same thing when you go on the inner arc, you're not gonna crunch down, but you're extending through as well.
Exactly, the inner arc is complex only because the inner arc of your spine is centralized by the sphere of life in the pelvic floor. Yeah. So by having that line of connection existing in the inner arc, you avoid to going down or to resting down upon yourself, in which that case, the fabric of life, the tensional forces will disappear into the physical sensation. Disappear in the physical sensation. And the only reason that you wanted to continuously keep the fabric connected through the movements is because then you're unifying the fascia, the ligaments, the muscles, the skeleton, all the organs. Everything is actualized inside like a bellows, that you're constantly actualizing all aspects of your sense of self. So everything is actualized simultaneously by moving from the center of the space, and by not having to play teeter-totter in their interaction. Yeah, so it's like a bellows. Everything moves up, everything comes. So that's what you're doing. The whole practice is to allow the fabric to remain constantly fluid and connected, in order for the fabric and the fluidity be the engagement of all the systems of function that we call the physical body. And that's where the self appears, because the self in me is the unity of myself. It's not an entity. It's a natural byproduct. If byproduct is not the word. The natural result is not the word. Let me see. The self in me is the natural essence of the unity. Yeah, I exist as the unity. I don't exist when everything gets broken. It's difficult to say that because it sounds judgmental, but It's just that the self, it exists inside of the realms of unity because it is simultaneous with life and simultaneous with the moment of creation and simultaneous with the movement of life, everything. So we become more and more simultaneous to the practice. Yeah. So that was clear. All this thing is wonderful. Yeah. Very important because now you understand completely. Yeah. Beautiful. And okay, so any questions about that? Isn't that nice that I found this? I loved it. I saw it in a place and I said, this is great. Even though I was trying to put a line in between in order to be able to know that at the center of it is the center of a space.
Could you could also, if you wanted to, draw on it or whatever, where the
I was going to put a little tape like that. So taping in order for that, right? And then I was going to put a little bit in the head and a line of thread. So you can see that the line, the center of a space is the center of the head. Yeah. Therefore, the center of the space, crown, is essential because that's the way that you can be in the 6 directions of a space. This part of the face becomes real, and this part of the brain becomes real, like a mirror image of your face. This part becomes real because it is coming from the pelvic floor. So you have the four directions of a space plus the crown and the pelvic floor is the place from which then you are unwinding all emotional remembrance that may exist within the self, that they have created the form that we think we are. You know what I mean? Because our face is always a reflection of the memories of our human existence. But most of the memories are really, they need to go because they are not, even though they are lovely, the essence is to be kept. But the memories need to go because sometimes they're based in pain and trauma and confusion, blah, blah, blah. And then we create that form in ourselves without not knowing that that was never necessarily who we are. So we get rid of it. Yeah. Getting rid of it means that the fabric dissolves the formation in which the brain have acknowledged that existence. The fabric dissolves the formation in which the brain have acknowledged that existence. And then when it dissolves, it opens like a bellows, and when it dissolves it, the self in us has the possibility of erasing it because it sees it from the first time from the point of reference of release instead of seeing it from the point of reference of memory. Or maybe sometimes he needs to see it from the point of reference of memory for a while until he recognizes that it was a beautiful memory and they only have to keep the essence. So then the brain can continue into the release of the actual self. So the self in us can be simultaneous with life because that's where we are. The self in us is the future, is the natural manifestation of the future, not as a projection from the past, but as a natural communion with the moment of creation, constantly appearing into our existence, from which then we sense life. The moment appears, and then we sense life, then we sense color, so we are always in delay a little bit in the acknowledgement of what it is. But we are becoming more and more simultaneous with what it is. So therefore, everything becomes magical because we recognize that it's a movie, a 24/7 movie going on, that is always fantastic and beautiful and perfect and everything. So we are no longer observing the movie. We are the creator of the movie, at the same time that we are the participants of the movie, at the same time that we are receiving the movie. We are receiving it, we are creating, and we are participating. Yeah, fantastic. All right, we did it, all of it. Let's go into the show. Shall we start seated or standing? The fountain of life. What will be the best? Let's do one set. Let's do 2 sets seated, and then let's do 2 sets standing. Yeah. Okay. Let me see what I needed to tell you. Seated is complex to do the fountain seated. You know that, right? It's complex. Yes. Because the reason that it's complex, because you are seated at the breastbone instead of coming directly from the floor. But if you understand that you have to make a certain adjustment because the center of your being is between your seated bones, then everything is easy. And it's a little bit different when you stand up because you come in directly from the floor and everything becomes less defined, but sometimes more connected because you have only one line from the floor. Yeah. When you're seated, you have two lines. You have the seated bones in your legs, and you have to equalize those two places in your sensation to be able to do the movement. But it's not bad. It's really wonderful. The seated connection is wonderful because remember that there are free places in which we spend our entire life, either seated, either standing, or even lie down. You know, and then you have it seated on the floor, of course. But those three things, once you really become clear, those three things, you got it forever, because those are the three places that we spend our life. Yeah, beautiful. So anyway, I'm going to move the chair back. I'm going to do it so you can see me a little bit, but I'm going to see you. Yeah, beautiful. Fantastic. Oh, I don't need this because I have this chair. All right, we're doing 2 sets, okay? Lovely. Are you getting to perceive that as you practice in the chair, for example, that the sensation of your feet changes as you practice?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know, right? That is important because if you are not sensing that the floor is changing a little bit as you connect through the spirals that connects the spine, that means that you are not at the center of the ground in your feet. So it is important to do that because the more you are connected to the center of the ground in the feet, the more you are connected in the seated bones, and the more you are connected to the chair in order to be able to define all the directions in your body. So 5, 6, 7. Okay, I wait for you. Lovely. 0 point is a divine thing, right? 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come back very gently to 0 point. Beautiful. Fantastic. Are you you good, right? Everything is good. Any questions? The most divine place in the entire practice is the arriving to self, right? Because even though everything is fantastic, because that's the only point that you can descend and ascend at the same time, clearly, yeah, and self, yeah. Wonderful. Do you? Okay, when I count, you know, I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but God's heart is free and, right? But I didn't put it free and, but by the time I say and, I lost the 4. But you do understand that the God's heart is the and between 3 and 4. Yeah, you clear with that? Yeah, I got it. You are right. Yeah, it's important because then then sometimes when you're trying to say too many words, they don't fill the space of the sound of the count, and then it gets a little crazy inside of you. Beautiful, right there, wonderful. That's there, beautiful, lovely, and then beautiful. That's wonderful, Lois, and that encircling the diamond, beautiful, and then come back on there all the way central crown. Yes, wonderful, and then self, descending, ascending, and wonderful. So the most important thing that I want you to learn to practice, that when you go from self and you're descending, ascending, you have to know what is the moment that the last frame becomes the next frame. Yeah, so you have to really in your practice, because the seamless nature of the fountain determines that you cannot arrive and then go. Your arrival is the beginning. Yeah, so that's a practice, very important. So you get to experience the energy. So the energy, so that when the arm descending from self, right here, and then it descends, I don't know if it descend, and it will be a moment right here in which the third finger of your hand connects to the crown, because it's the vertical extension, and that becomes the fountain. So that's a wonderful, yeah, beautiful, lovely, fantastic. Can we do it one more time? It's okay, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, that's good, good, Nancy, good. Yes, perfect. Nancy, it's good, you're doing fantastic. You have to be careful when you practice at home, that when you get to Bronze Heart and you get to central crown, that your head has to go in this plane. You cannot remain with your head in this plane. You're doing it. You're going up all the time, but understand that your head is in a completely different plane in central crown.
That's where the problem is.
Yes, it's a natural elongation of everything. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Darlene.
I have a problem with my head.
Yeah. But I want you to really know that little by little, when your mind said, okay, I got to be able to really extend from inside through, even if you go one breath at a time, it's like a kilometer. One breath is 1 kilometer away going out from you. So I wanted to encourage you, because I can tell you're elongating now the neck from the pelvic floor. But I want you to really notice that too. Yeah. Now, do you understand that when you go from central crown through central crown to the encircling of the spiral, you do all the changes of the center of gravity from the outer arc into the gravitational expansion that will take you to moving heart. So there is a complete change of the upper torso, taking you to moving heart through the diamond. Yeah. So yeah, so then, yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. Exactly, fantastic. So let's do it. Okay, Mary Pat, go ahead. You're going to go from where? From foundation up? Yeah. I'm sorry, darling. I don't know what, yeah.
I was just going up and into it.
Okay. What I want you to I want you to know in your mind that the reason that you come back from central crown to moving heart is to define all the different stages in which the center of gravity matches the sphere of life. So you changing constantly the center of gravity to allow you to bring you back into wonderful. Yes. Yeah. And remember that it is asymmetrical. Yeah, the whole movement is asymmetrical, because the asymmetry is what doesn't allow you to rest in the shoulder girdle on top of to rest the shoulder girdle on top of the vertebrae. Yeah, so it's not symmetrical. If I will do it symmetrical, it would be almost impossible, because then the entire scapula and everything will go inside of me. So it is asymmetrical from central crown, right there. Wonderful. The first diamond. Okay, shall we do it? Let's go. Fantastic. Let's do it again, and then we'll do it standing. You're doing fantastic. You know now that even though I counted in 4, central ground is 3 and, yeah? 4 and then 5, yeah? The and is the moving connection between 3 and 4. It's good because then your mind can be connected. If you understand where you are in a space through the motion, that's the way that the mind helps you to be connected, because you know where you are. You are not just doing it, you also know where you are. It's different than just doing it, right? To know where you are. I understand. You understand what I mean? Okay, you understand what I mean? Yeah. Oh, well, the reason I asked, I put my finger because I don't know if you need more information, what I mean, the difference between doing it and understand where you are.
Yes,
You do. Got
yes.
it. Any question? No. Fantastic. 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Come back to 0 point. I know we can do it another one, but I think you're good. You're good. You're good. Are you good? Shall we do it standing now or together? It's okay. It takes too many changes to go standing. Wonderful. Let's do it standing. Let's do 2 sets again standing. How was that? I'm sure you're doing great, but I don't know. I'm asking you because it's difficult to be able to see you completely. Yes.
Good. It was good.
It was good? Okay. The most important thing is that you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, you're fantastic. If you don't know what you're doing, then it's complex because you're just doing it, which is fine. Eventually we'll get you there, but the more you know what you're doing, the more you're going to be able to be quickly connected, if there is such a thing, okay? 5, 6, 7, and 8. 2 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Second set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go inner, outer. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. We go touching balance very gently. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And very gently dissolve the movement. Just dissolve the movement. I apologize, but it's okay. because we didn't do you didn't do the definition of all the centers, right? That's okay. Wonderful. So just if you can just sit for a second, just for me, and then we'll do it together again. We do it we're going to do the definition of the four centers, the 7 centers, and then the inner outer mandala, and then touch balance. Yeah. But I want to clarify something that I want you to understand now in this one. How are you in the sensation of the last frame of energy before it becomes the fountain? Are you good? It's clear in your awareness, the last frame of energy before
Yes.
the last one. Very
Yeah.
important.
The one that's less clear for me is the first frame from central crown to descending. After moving heart and going up to central crown, the first frame there is what I feel like I lose sometimes.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. That sounds wonderful. I think that the most important thing in this particular moment, when you come back, when you are in moving heart, is that your mind must understand that the motion begins on the pelvic floor.
And that's okay.
If
After I'm
you're,
up here.
yeah. So then what happens is when you begin in the pelvic floor, that means that the wave will take you all the way to central crown, right? And when the wave takes you all the way to central crown, you can open the directions. It's like two loops that open the direction that is going to take you into the descending, coming to self. So the place that is complex is exactly. But you have to be careful that once you open, you are in central crown, you just don't start going down directly from there. You have to extend up at the same time that you're elongating the movement to take you into the self. So very possible what happened, very bad, is that you thinking that from central crown, you have to start descending.
No, I think I need a little more right in with the front and back there. Right
Exactly. So from central crown, you're elongating the movement at the same time that you're opening, but you don't descend from that place. You're elongate as you're descending in order to come back to self. Yeah, wonderful. That was clear. You got it? Yeah. So anything that you're not clear is that the mind is going to a different direction. So when the mind understands that direction, you will be clear because you will coordinate the sensation with the movement instead of just being the movement. The sensation with the movement, yeah? You're coordinated inside of you. Beautiful. Okay, that was good, Nancy, that was good. Beautiful. Now, I want you to feel also that once you start descending the plane from central crown, that will take you to this new place that I'm asking you to elongate and you start coming forward. The plane is actually the moving center of gravity that is going to take you to self. So it's not that your arms are going to go down. Your arms never go down. The arms are finding the plane that correspond to the energy that is going to bring you to self. Because once you find the plane that correspond to the energy, you go out. From the in, you go out, and from the out, you go in at the same time. Because if otherwise you're just doing the motion, and then you're losing the outer energy that correspond to the motion. So the plane and the frame of movement always self-contain the inner outer and the outer inner along with the moment of life. Yeah, the inner outer and the outer inner. So you're doing good, you're doing fantastic, but I'm not sure that if you're just finding the plane that comes inside of you at the same time that you go outside and then connects you to, you're doing it, but I don't know if your mind understands that that's what's happening. So then you can clarify through your mind this. Once your mind understands that it's happening, you can clarify it. And then when clarify it, you got it forever because the mind connects. Beautiful. Yeah. Are we clear with that? A little bit? Fantastic. Wonderful. So now what we're going to do, we're going to do one fountain. We're going to do one set of the fountain. Then we do the four different definitions. Yeah. And the four different definitions, you know that each of them correspond to two centers, right? Central crown, the definition of central crown, foundation correspond to the pelvis and pelvic floor. The connection of self is the only place that is just the center of a space. The connection of suspended diamond, you know, there's the connection of your heart and the connection of your throat. And the connection of central crown, you know, is the connection of your head and the connection of the crown. So you might understand, the only place that is only one connection is in the self. The rest, each of them represents two centers. Yeah, you're clear with that one? Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, one last detail. When we get to go infinity, I want you to begin to perceive that infinity is centralized in the pelvic and the solar plexus, but the centralization of the solar plexus as the diagonals is what allows the neck to elongate inside of the head and the crown. So it's in a specific place in which the relationship to space determines the elongation. The relationship to space determines the elongation. Very important. And I want you to notice that if instead of the connection, you go a little bit close, you shrunk. So you lost the neck and the head, right? If you go a little bit shoot down, you don't have the neck to be able to get to the crown and stop in the head. So infinity is the perfect place in which the free upper centers and the free lower centers are simultaneously the center of yourself. So that's an important place. Exactly. So Nancy, when you're there, be there when you get to infinity, be there and gently add the neck to this connection. No, only the neck goes up, only the head goes up, only the crown goes up from your feet, right there, and then move in descending. Yeah. So if you feel like infinity is good, you can spend for a second and then add the upper centers and all the 7 centers to it. So then you get to really find the entire elongation of your being from inside out. You're doing it. Fantastic. Yeah. Wonderful. This is infinity. It's fantastic. Yeah. Wonderful. Then wonderful. And then what happens that infinity is a place that you are completely not locked in a space. You don't locked in a space. If you locked in a space, it means that you push in somewhere and then you can move forward. So if you are free in it, you can move the center of gravity to get you to expansion and then to get you to navigation. Yeah, fantastic. I love it. One mandala crown and then the center, beautiful. When you start sensing that from mandala crown that you gather forward earth in the inflowing wave, make sure that the inflowing wave move inside of your shoulders as well. There's not just the shoulder joint going around, but it's connecting through the shoulders to the heart. And the inflowing wave when you arrive to mandala crown, ready to go into, mandala crown right there. Exactly, right there. Fantastic, wonderful. We'll do it together. Fantastic. You can do it in the chair. I'm going to do it standing. We'll do it together. We do 2 fountains of life. We go in the definition of the 4 different definitions. We go then from the 4 different definitions, we go to central crown, the last definition, and it will be the fountain. And then it will take us back again to the completion of the fountain. And the completion of the fountain, we gather the wave and we go to the inner outer mandala, which is the definition of infinity. And then when we complete the definition of infinity and mandala crown, we come directly to foundation and we touch balance. So we complete the whole movement of the fountain right there. Yeah, fantastic. We go. So the whole fountain is nothing other than learn how to maintain is not the word, to experience the connection of the fountain inside of you, the fabric of life. 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll start the definition of the 4 definitions. Gathering the wave, 2, 3, foundation, outflowing wave, and crown. Gathering 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 Beautiful. The definition of self. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Center of space. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2. The delicate heart to go to suspended diamond. 1, 2. Suspended diamond. Throat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. The last definition. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gathering into 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to do the inner alarm. 2, 3, 4. 1, click. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And now from the pelvic floor, which is between your legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, click. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And release the motion. It will go into interchanging balance. How was that? It's good. How is it? Let me see. Any questions? It's good. How was that, Mary Pat? Better now?
Yes.
Yeah, it will take you a while to really actually integrate it completely, but it's a good place. Infinity is a trap to go into infinity because the movement take away the outer form takes you into an infinity's gate to take you into infinity. It's not that your arms are going to go up and take you to infinity. It's not that your arms are going to go up and take you to infinity. It's that the passing through will take you out, will take you out, will take you out, and it will take you to infinity out of the outer connection. Exactly. Yeah. So that's important. Important because if you're trying to do it from the arms, you're going to be closing in to go to infinity, and then you're going to sense the closing to be the connection, but it's not. It comes from the outer form to take you into infinity, and infinity will take you to expansion. It will opens you up. Yeah, clear with that one. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can I watch you do the touching balance and coming up?
Yeah. Remember that when you touch balance, you're arriving, it's a moment of total symmetry, right? Touching balance in that moment. It's like you're in a circle. It's a little bit different than the release of expansion. but it's a circle. And the moment that you become symmetrical, one arm must bring you the other arm. So you have to be very important to understand the asymmetrical nature of the movement return, because that's the only way that the shoulder girdle is not going to press you down in gravity when you come up. It's the same principle of this encircling the diamond when you come back to moving hard. It's the same principle of the diamond that is going to bring you into the unfolding in order to get you into infinity's gate. Yeah, I'm going to do it right now. Yeah, but that's the most important thing to remember. Yeah, beautiful. I don't know if you can see it from there, but
That's good.
it's still not. It's too far away, but it's okay. You see it.
Yeah.
So the most important, what I'm telling you is that in the moment, okay, in touching balance, what you're learning is that the first frame, you start bending your knees as you release the spine. Remember in the release of foundation, we go into the heart in order to create a spiral that is going to get you to suspended balance, in order to bring you back into offering self, right? In that motion, you're raising the energy to the heart and then create an invisible spiral. And touching balance, you begin in the instant of 0 point. And that is the moment that you start bending, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, the spiral. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And complete. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, no, it's great. Thank you.
Okay. Remember the touching balance. It's very important, because from the 0 point is the instant that you start bending your legs as you release the spine. Yeah. And what you're doing in the bending of the legs is that you're bending and you're extending inside of you. It's not that you're bending down. You're extending inside of you. And in the moment that you touch the floor, remember here, the moment that you touch the floor, right here, at that moment, if you were to surrender it, it will take you very gently into 0 point balance, seated. So that's important to practice. The releasing of touching balance, becoming the connection to seated. And then the connection to seated, you go into the second section. Yeah, you're unifying that movement. Ready to go. All right. So where are we now? We are going. That was clarified then. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Last detail, and then we'll do it together. Last detail that I want you to understand completely. When you move into central crown, right? You're moving through the 7th center, pelvic floor, pelvic, solar plexus, thought, head, crown, right here, central crown. You know that your arms don't go up only. It's that it is a very gentle rotation of the energy that it brings you up, right? It's a rotation of the energy, and it's in my hands, in my hands and the lower arm that rotates the shoulders. Exactly. So it is the hands and the lower arm that rotate the shoulder. If you're trying to rotate the shoulders, you're going to push it back. So the ascending through center is then the energy that opens the shoulder without pushing it back. You're clear about that? Yeah? Perfect. Very important. We'll do it together. Beautiful. Much better, much better. Now, the most important thing that I want for you to practice is that when you go from foundation and you get to the delicate heart, right? And the delicate heart has 2 functions. One, to start the wave that is gets you to suspended balance, or to start the way that is going to take you to central crown. Yeah. Now, the instant of the delicate heart is the instant in which Earth, the lower centers, the lower foundation, connects to the higher, the upper 3 centers. So it's the union of heaven and earth. I'm going to use this symbol to help you to understand. It's the instant in which down becomes up without any particular pushing. It's the moment of union of the continuity of the spiral extension of energy. And that's the reason it's called the delicate heart. It is a moving connection in which exactly, yes, yeah, beautiful. So beautiful, exactly, fantastic. Okay, so shall we do it together then? Now we're going to do it together. We're going to do it again. One fountain, the 4 definitions, touching balance, the inner outer mandala, touching balance, and interchanging balance. We are interchanging balance. It's okay? Wonderful. We'll do it. You can do it seated or standing. That's good. That was clear about the moment of the delicate heart. That's the reason it's called the delicate heart, right? The union of heaven and earth. Beautiful. One fountain, eh? The two-sided fountain. Just one set. 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. The definition of foundation. 1, 2, 3. Crown. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Crown. 1, 2. This is the last one. 4. 1, 2, 3. Crown. 1. This, and now I'm going to raise the energy from the pelvic floor, and I'm going to connect all the way up to the center of the solar plexus. And I'm in between, center of space. 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1. Now is when the delicate heart comes into play, because now the delicate heart is the beginning of the wave. Then you take it to suspend the diamond, it descending 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now going up, the delicate heart is a continuation of raising the energy all the way to central crown, taking you back into the completion of the fountain. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now 1, 2. Now we're going to start from the pelvic floor, and the delicate heart becomes infinity's gate. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And now, getting to foundation is the beginning of the descending. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2. The diamond. 3 and 4. Now foundation. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to complete and crown in order to start the interchanging wave. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 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 2, 3, and arrive into symmetry. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 0 point. Transfer the weight. Allow the energy to move very gently. Okay. How was that?
Good.
That was good.
Mhm.
Any questions about that? That was clear. Let me see. What do we see? Let me see. It's important to know the difference between the moment that you start the spiral to take you to suspended diamond, because that's the wave that is going to engage the neck. So you have to be very careful about that. Then the difference between going to central crown, because the wave is a little bit, it doesn't exist anymore like the wave that it takes you to suspended diamond. The wave is continual taking you all the way up to central crown. So it's when you go to central crown, you don't do the wave that you do to go into to suspended diamond. Yeah, beautiful. And then so you know that the plane that you move in a space to go into central crown is the vertebrae ascending all the way up to the crown in order to taking you back into moving heart, in order to take you back into exactly. Wonderful. And then beautiful. That's it. That's good, Mary Pam. That's good. There, and then take it out from the pelvic floor. And now another elongation to taking you out into that. Exactly. Fantastic. And then to self. Beautiful. And then the completion. Fantastic. What you're looking for is that, let me see, what it is. When you're ascending through the centers from the delicate heart, not going to suspended diamond, but ascending through the center, there is a moment right here in this vertebra right here that connects the thoracic and the neck, that you would like to be able to be part of the wave that it take you up. You don't want to be able to press back to go up. You want it to be able part of the wave that is going to take you to the crown. So it's all one continual motion. Because there is a tendency that once you're passing the delicate heart to go up to central crown, there is a moment here that you would like to be able to get the neck to go back here to keep elongating up. And you don't want that. You don't want to do this with the neck. You want to extend inside of the vertebra so it becomes a natural unfolding of the whole spiral of you. So that's when you practice what you're looking for. No pressure in the back of the neck, but the connection between the thoracic and the cervical to be seamless. Yeah, you got it. That's fantastic. Yeah, beautiful.
Does that have a little bit to do with sort of, I don't want to say the reflex or whatever, but
Yes.
that reflex sort of to use the elbow in the movement a little bit.
Yeah. I think that the complexity is that there is a moment that the elbow, as you go through central crown, is an avenue of connection more than a point from which you're going to go up.
Right.
The elbow is an avenue of connection to take you to central crown. Exactly. Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's it. An avenue of connection, not a point of motion.
Right.
Because if you create a point of motion, immediately it's going to cross behind your neck, and then the movement is going to go to the edge of itself. So the whole thing is going to be okay, but it's not going to be the entire transferring of the center of gravity. Yeah. There's no way you can do the movement back. You're wrong. It's impossible. But what we're working in here is to refine it to such a degree that you finally get to really be completely connected constantly. And it's a lot to ask you, but once you know what you're doing, you'll find it. Yeah. Fantastic. So anyway, now what about doing very gently the definition of the outer mandala together? The definition of the outer mandala. We're going to go directly, we're going to go to the definition of earth, and then the definition of expansion, and then the definition of heaven, and then we complete in the mandala. Yeah, we are not going to do the releases, just only the 4 definitions. Yeah, one thing that I would like you to clarify when you're doing the outer mandala, the outer definition of the mandala. Let me see what it is that I wanted to tell you that it was very important. So when you enter crown from heaven, the first instant in which you come into is the movement of the head changing into the center of gravity. Yes, so you're unifying heaven with the center of the crown and your arms coming down toward you.
So we're going to do the outer through the inner mandala. Is that what you're saying?
We're going to go define the outer mandala, the 3 different places: earth, and go to foundation, go to expansion, and go to foundation, go to heaven. And when you go to heaven, we release it, heaven, and then we do heaven, inner mandala, directly from there. We complete the mandala, and then we can do the outer inner mandala all the time, whatever you want to. But what I want you to become clear about here is that when you touch heaven, the first instant to come back into inside of yourself through the energy is in the crown. Yeah, you're descending from the crown, from heaven. It's important. Exactly, Helen. You're gonna go right there, and then. Yeah, right there. Okay, beautiful. Right there. Okay, you got it. So now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it together. We're going to go to the definition, as I said, define heaven, release, come down from heaven. Then we go heaven and the outer inner mandala. That will become the inner mandala. The thing that I want you to become clear from heaven is the point that is called the delicate instant. The delicate instant is a place when you are descending and ascending again to be able to foundation. Remember that when you say, I said to you that the delicate heart is the point that connects earth and heaven, or heaven and earth. The delicate instant is the point that connects heaven and earth again in order into one seamless motion. It's the point in which the up becomes the down. In the delicate heart from foundation, the down becomes the up. Entering ground, the up becomes the down, and then the whole motion will get you in it. Yeah. So you never get to the suspended diamond when you're descending from entering ground. Yeah. You never get to it. Because if you're going to suspend the diamond, you will not be able to descend anymore. You will be able to have to go back into the body, in the edge of the body. Okay, shall we do it? Are we clear? Okay, that we're going to do. We're going to do the definition of the outer mandala, and then we're going to do outer inner mandala. And let's do the outer inner mandala when we get to it. Let's do it twice, just all the way up, in order to practice the outer inner twice. Yeah, so we're going to go the last definition of heaven. We descend through all the places of motion to 7, and then we're going to go from the whole definition of mandala into entering crown. We are descending, beautiful, into foundation. We completed crown, and then we'll do it again. Just that part, just that one to practice. The practice of the inner outer mandala and the outer inner mandala are fantastic because it's the connection of all the vertebrae and space of the spine as they relate the planes of space. I'll repeat it for you in a moment after. Let's do it. 5, 0 point balance. 6, 7, and 8. Gathering the weight. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Defining earth. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Defining earth, riding the wave, defining expansion. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Defining earth, riding the wave, touching expansion, encircling the heart, expanding the heart. Level of infinity, getting to expansion, navigation. 4, 1, 2, 3, and now I'm going to do the whole mandala. It means that you're unfolding from the inner all the way to outer, and the outer becomes the inner, the delicate instant. 2, 1, and 2, 3, 2, 3, and 4. We'll do it again, the same thing. 1, and 2, 3, and 4. 1, and 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4, 1, and 2, 3, and 4, 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and that will become release expansion. Beautiful. And then dissolve the movement. Fantastic. How was that? Any
Cristiam,
question?
so when you say, when you touch one, one is the instant, right? The count of one is the hands change at one.
No, from this is heaven is 4, right? 4. 1, 2, N. To N will be the delicate instant. To N, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Complete the whole motion. 3 and 4. Is that what you asked me, Nancy?
Yes, but I'm still not sure.
Heaven is 4.
Do it again.
Yeah, 1 and 2. Yeah, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Wonderful. Very good, very good. Carolina is wonderful. But let me just give you a little bit of a point here. And Nancy, let's finish with you. Darling, what is that you asked me to? Do you want me to do it?
I want to see you do it again one more time.
Yeah. I'm too far away.
Oh, I can see it.
Okay. So I want you, what you want to see is where heaven becomes entering crown, right? So this is the sphere of earth, right in the way, encircling heaven. This is count 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Yeah. So 4 is heaven. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
So 4 is heaven, and then
4
1
is heaven. 4 is heaven. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
1 is crown.
4 to expansion, 4 to heaven. 1 and 2 and will be the delicate instant.
So
3
and
and
is
4,
when
1,
you're-
2, 3, 4. Yeah.
I'm looking-
Carolina, I'm fine. Am I saying okay? The counts, I think I am.
Yeah.
I
Now,
was looking for the place where your hands change,
where the hands shake, exactly, the delicate instant.
and that's
In
the
moment,
end.
in the moment that you enter the delicate instant, which is right here, you see, more or less, the angle is difficult to see it from there, but you see right here, my hands
Yes.
are gonna change into bring me down.
And what count is that? Is that and?
The delicate instant is 2N.
Okay,
2N. 1, 2, N.
good.
3,
That's what I wanted.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you.
So it answers the question, the count
Yes.
N. Yeah.
Yes, that answered it. Thank
Okay. Carolina, I want to help you. I want to help everyone a little bit about it. This is just once you enter the delicate instant, it's like the movement becomes like you enter an elevator that is going to elevate you to get you all the way to foundation. So the movement elevate the arm inside of you when you descend. So the movement doesn't go down from once you enter the descending through center, the movement doesn't go down. It enters the place in a space that elevates you to get you to foundation. So it's a different kind of quality of descending in, entering your arm and descending into foundation more than bringing the arms down. Exactly, you're doing it. The only thing that now to get you the full experience that once you start entering the arm, you have to create one breath of navigation to allow the energy to be able to open the shoulder to get you to foundation. So another from the arms, when you enter, doesn't stay in the same plane. It creates a little bit of navigation to give you the internal energy that is going to connect you to the outflowing wave from foundation. You got it. Can you feel it, Carolina, the descending there? It's the same descending that you do all the time, but the descending gets transformed now from the point of reference of getting your arms down.
Yeah, that's
As the point of
wonderful.
reference entering the energy that is going to bring you.
Yeah, thank you, Christy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's different.
Yeah, absolutely. The entering the navigation, a little bit of the energy. Exactly. Right there. And that will be foundation that will take you to crown.
Thank you.
See, very welcome. I think that you can do 1 millimeter more of navigation once you enter the delicate instant, right there.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. You mean with the hands up like that a little bit more?
Yeah. But what happens is that, let me see, clarify. Once you enter the movement and you start descending, the hands go a little bit up. But if you go too much up, you're crossing the shoulders. So it allowed it to descend and ascend at the same time. Right there, foundation, and that would be our flowing wave.
Christine, you're a little bit of a,
Let me finish with Carolina.
Oh, sorry.
Can you sense that right there, navigation. Yay! Fantastic.
Yeah, that's different. Thank you.
So navigation becomes the part of the flower vase. Remember here, navigation becomes the form of the flower vase that is going to get you to foundation in order to get to the crown. That was exactly. Yes, fantastic. Ellen, I'm sorry, you have a question yourself.
it seems like my arms want to open up a little bit. I don't know if whether that's right.
You are in heaven. You have to start in heaven.
Oh, heaven.
Exactly. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Much better. That time was good.
Okay.
You didn't open that sideways, right?
That's the way I usually do.
No, because you were trying to start in central crown. You cannot return.
No, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. It's okay. It's right there. Inside. Right there. Exactly. So the only complexity that you have right now, which you got it all together, is that once you start descending, once you enter the delicate instant and you start descending, when you get to the level of the solar plexus around that area, the sphere will take you in navigation to foundation,
right,
and to take you to exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have to create the form. Now that you created, you use the circular form of the sphere of foundation to get you elevated, so you are arriving to the pelvic floor in an expanded space to be able to get to the crown to complete the fountain. Yeah. That was a fantastic thing that you
very wonderful. It keeps the shoulder girdle suspended through the whole.
Exactly. Right there. Beautiful. Wonderful. I think that you're going a little bit too much down with your arms, maybe bad. So foundation is becoming too low for you when you start descending. But you got it. You're getting the connection. Beautiful. Right there. Wonderful. Right there. Okay. Wonderful. Fantastic. Descending right there. Wonderful. It gets a little bit, let me see, how can I help you? The other form of the fountain is going to help you. So once you enter the flower vase, that form right here of the flower vase inside of navigation is what is taking you to it. Okay. So what exactly? Beautiful, because that part can tend to be elongated too much. Very bad. Once that part wants to elongate it that much, and then you can return to foundation, and you cannot have the form that it takes you to the center of the shoulder to get out and into right there. Better. You're getting it. So it's a tendency that you want to elongate your arms too much, when you're descending, and then you losing the circularity that is going to take you to foundation to take you to crown. Yeah, beautiful, fantastic. 2 and 3, 4, 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, much better. 1, 2, you're almost fantastic. You're almost there, getting to the last part of foundation. Yeah, by the time you get a foundation, the hands are in this plane. You see, this is the plane of foundation. This is the lower part of the sphere when I arrive in here. Right, and this is the angle of the sphere, not under this way, but this angle. Of course, the sphere, the periphery of the sphere is inside of me, so that's complex because it seems like outside, but I am inside. Right there, Lois, right there. That's the beginning of the outflowing wave. Right there, exactly, right there. Fantastic, you got it, you got it. Absolutely perfect, beautiful, wonderful, lovely. 1, 2. Delicate, yeah. Good, very bad. Much better. Right there, fantastic. You're getting it. It's clear, and it's going to become more clear because then once you get to foundation, that's the beginning of the wave. Right there, that's the beginning of the wave. Exactly. If you make it too low, you're not going to be able to get out because your back of your neck is going to change the angle of your arms. So that's the reason that you need to really get that place. Okay, beautiful. So let me go. Let's just sit down for a moment, comfortable, and let's go through the things that we have learned today. Because I think that we did very good. I'm sorry we went many details. I would like to go more into all the first section and work in the floor. I wanted to work in the salutation today, celebration, but anyway, we did good.
Cristiam, in class, I have to leave early a little bit. Thank you.
Go ahead, Ali, go ahead. I love you.
Bye.
Good day.
Enjoy just a few minutes more, and you can listen to what Esther we said. So let's see what we did today. I think that the most important thing that we did today, that now you can begin to understand more clearly that when you define the centers, each center foundation is 2 centers, suspended diamond is 2 centers, and central crown is 2 centers, right? Crown and the head, the heart and the solar plexus, the pelvis and the pelvic floor, and the center of the self is individual because it's the center of the sphere completely. That's the way it is. But anyway, what you're learning is that when you're raising the energy through the center of the spine, you get to central self, right? And then from the self, when you do the second definition, the third definition, you go through the definition of the delicate heart to get you to the suspended diamond. Yeah, and then the suspended diamond becomes instantaneously to foundation. And then the third one, you don't go through the delicate heart. When the fourth one, when you go to central crown, no delicate. It exists, but the wave, it doesn't unfold like going into suspended diamond. The wave continues through your arm, mirroring the spine, taking you to central crown before you complete it. So there are 4 different definitions there. The definition of the inflowing wave that it takes you to foundation, the definition of the ascending through center that it takes you to central self, the definition for the delicate heart that it takes you to suspended diamond, and then the definition of the delicate heart that doesn't take you to the wave of the diamond. It continues through the whole torso, ascending through the centers before you get to moving heart. That will become clear for you, right? Then it became clear for Mary Pat that when you touch the central crown, you have to elongate the movement as you're going down into the south. And then what happened before, you just thought that from then I got to descend. No, you got to find the whole movement because it's the center of the heart that is going to bring you to the center of a space from which you will descend and ascend. Then you find out that the delicate heart, the infinity's gate, is a trap a little bit because you don't use the arms going up. You're using the passing through form, and the passing through form takes the shape and the form that is going to liberate the center of the thoracic vertebra right here. It's going to liberate the center below the heart. This motion is going to liberate it, liberate that part. You can't liberate it in the rib cage. What are you going to liberate it from? You're going to push it back, extend it, grab it. So this motion is what connects the ribs, and it connects you to infinity. So it's a trip, that motion there, because it demands the entire engagement of all the muscles of your body and your arms to connect it to that place. Yeah, fantastic. Then what else? It was very important, descending from it. Let me see. You got it. Okay, so then what else that it was very important that you got today? That when you go into heaven, the entering crown happens in the instant that the outer arc raises into the center of you, and then the delicate instant, it gets you the descending, ascending. And when you're learning that descending, ascending is an elevational connection inside of your arms, in which you are extending from inside out in order to descend to foundation. Your arms never go down. Yeah. Then what you're learning is that the angle in which you're moving is the penetration of the energy of the fountain inside of your heart. And that's what keeps the inner and the outer interconnected to the frame of movement. The inner to the outer interconnected to the frame of movement. Both things simultaneously. Yeah. You did good in that one, understood completely. The delicate heart and the delicate instant are very important parts of your brain, because once the brain comprehends the union between above and below and above, then the brain can comprehend that the frame, heaven and earth, exists in the frame of movement. The frame of movement of life is the union of heaven and earth. Once you understand that, without the mind comprehending what below is above and what above is below, inside of the union, it's very difficult to comprehend that the frame is the union of everything. But once you understand that, then the frame becomes your connection to everything, because it's the frame of movement, life, yeah? The instant of creation, yeah? Fantastic, you got it. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Touching balance, you understood the difference between touching balance and suspended back to releasing the expansion. Touching balance is a spiral. The complexity in the spiral is that we're beginning to comprehend that the spiral is an energy inside of me. It's not that my arms are doing a spiral. It's that the energy inside of me takes me from in and out. So you're getting to play with the energy inside of yourself as you're doing it. So the movement becomes more the relationship of the energy than you doing the movement. Yeah, you got it. Fantastic. Wonderful. So you're doing absolutely fantastic. Wonderful. Remember that the practice, this thing about the if you can read it sometimes, the
celebration.
The celebration. Because the celebration is important because it has the three different planes. The plane that is correspond to the center of your head, the right and the left and the head, and the center that correspond to crown, the plane of the right and the left of your heart, which is the center that correspond to the, and then the plane of foundation, which is the center that correspond to the pelvis as it correspond to your shoulders and your neck. So those three planes existed within the 10 dimensions. And once you begin to practice them as planes, it helps you, because you understand where the plane of the center of your head is right here, right there. And that's the center of my head. Crown, it will be a little bit more because you have to pass through, right? But the center of the head is in here. The plane of the center of your heart is in here. You always know what it is. But if you're trying to go too much back, you go back. You know what it is. The center of the pelvis is totally interconnected. It's always ever present. When you're in the kitchen cooking, you're cutting onions, whatever you're doing from the center of your pelvis, the horizontal plane of your being. So those three planes are very important because they are the planes of the tree of life. And in the tree of life, they are the three crosses. And the three crosses didn't exist as an awareness within the tree of life. It was ancient, right? In the moment that the tree of life existed as a symbol, the three senses of the self was not developed. They were all united, but not developed as we know them right now. The sense that is mind, the sense that is feeling, and the sense that is physical got developed through the entire voyage of our evolutionary self. So those are the central grosses. So those grosses don't have dimensions. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The grosses don't have dimensions. And the reason that they don't have dimensions, because in that time, they didn't exist as the knowledge, awareness, and experience of the human self that could then comprehend the totality of the tree of life in the present moment as the reenactment of its own essence. Yeah, because before it was just, we didn't need it. In the Garden of Eden, you didn't need mind, you didn't need emotion because there was love, and physical sensation was what it was. So we have to develop those three senses. The entire process was the developing of those three senses until finally we can get it back so that now they exist, but they are the union of ourselves. Okay, I'll let you be. Love you, have fun. Thank you for everything. I'll see you later. Thank you very much.
Great.
Ciao,
Thank
ciao.
you.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye, everybody.
Ciao, ciao.
Love you guys.